Welcome to the 6th day of cycling from Amsterdam to Bruges on a boat bike tour. Today we travel from Bruges to the North Sea. This is a little bit shorter video from the previous rides. Not because the distance was shorter, because we did travel for over 31 miles this day. As we began riding this day, we went through a park that goes along the canal from Bruges to the sea. The park along the canal that goes to the sea from Bruges has several examples of windmills and some other interesting features. Notice that drawbridge up ahead on the right. In a couple minutes I'm going to stop there and show you a video that Diana and I took later in this trip of a barge passing through that. If you've seen a barge go through a lock and dam, you might want to skip that part because it's kind of long, but we found it interesting. I did speed this video up a little bit because the entire process took about 20 minutes. This is the main canal that connects Bruges to the ocean, or Zee Bruges. It also, once you go through this lock, connects to the Ghent Canal, and you can go from the ocean all the way to Ghent on this little canal. That's the canal we rode along most of the last video, which was beautiful. I recommend you watch that.
Now they're letting water in from the right to the left, so the barge can go through. Almost the same level from side to side.
You see those little metal silver pipes beside the big gray ones? Those go up and down to open the gates underneath to the water.
Here we are back to the footage from the bike ride. You'll see that wooden structure across the canal there. At the time, nobody could figure out what it was. Later in my research, I found out that this is a human-powered treadmill used to lift cargo onto and off of the decks of barges and in warehouses. You'll notice once again we're blessed with beautiful weather this day and really very little wind, which is always a relief when you're cycling in the lowlands or near the North Sea.
Yeah, I just flipped off the edge. We're good. We're good.
This is the interesting town of Liesewege. It's an interesting town because most of the houses are white. At one point there was also a castle, but it's been destroyed. There was a Count of Liesewege that worked closely with the Count of Flanders. The interweb tells me that this village came to being because of dike construction to protect the countryside from the ocean. It became a wealthy town in the Middle Ages because it produced some of the textiles that Bruges was famous for during that time.
Clear!
The internet also says that many of the white houses are placed in a circle around the church at the center of town. We didn't actually go through the center of town, but as you can see, the road is curved, suggesting that the circle theory of houses is probably true, although I don't have any evidence to confirm that. Here we are at our lunch stop. We had some free time. I did bring my swimming trunks this day, but with the tide being out and the ocean so far away, I decided it was a bit daunting to walk all the way out just to dip my legs in the ocean. The North Sea didn't look particularly inviting either, and that might have played a role in my decision not to wet myself.
We're at the North Sea, near Bruges.
This village on the coast is Dahan, where we stopped for lunch. It seems to be pretty packed with hotels and restaurants, and obviously little places out on the beach to sit on the sand or near the ocean. It wasn't the kind of day where people were taking much advantage of it, at least at this time. It was a pleasant afternoon to sit on a bench and have our lunch with our bike friends. I didn't really take any video of the countryside on the way back to Bruges. We've seen a lot of that countryside already on this trip, but here we are coming back into the other side of town from the point of departure this morning. It's along a park, and we get to see some of the houses that aren't in the city center.
Bike back.
That evening was our last dinner together, and we got some gifts from our guides, and then went on to enjoy Bruges, which will be the next video.